Show us your tips, Daggy and Beaver, with you for another spring preview after another successful weekend last weekend. We keep rolling into the spring. We've got some good weather, some rain around Melbourne, but some good weather definitely in Sydney. And some interesting cards to look at, Beaver.
Yeah, good weekend last weekend to reiterate, and some great feedback received from some of the punters. So keep that rolling in. Good to see many punters are following us and getting the fruits of our labour there. So pleased to see that. It's a couple of interesting race days. Wasn't overly impressed with the card at Sydney.
No.
Thought it was pretty average, to be honest, and might be a few things to be cautious of there in some of the selections. And then the Valley card's all good, except probably need to see how the track is playing as well, which always hard this far out. Unknown whether it's going to suit the leaders or those sweeping down the middle.
Yeah, I'm concerned because I've pretty much found a lot of favourites throughout the afternoon, but a lot of them are drawn inside. Beaver's back. 5 mil the forecast. Rail true. Hopefully, look, I suspect by the end of the day we're off the rails, but for now I'm treating it largely as fair, and we'll see how we go as the afternoon gets on. They've kept the hoses away, which should mean it's not going to be too wet or anything. So give it strength. We kick off with the 1600 metre for the 3-year-olds. A nice race to start the day, and Beaver, you can have first crack.
Yeah, thanks, mate. You like to always give me first crack.
I can have first crack.
You can go first crack.
I'm very polite. Evaporate comes off a nice win, track and slightly up in distance here, 80 metres up in distance, but mid-race move, pretty soft through the line there. I think with Mickey D, gate 7, you're not too worried about the draw. And while I do like what Captain Barbosa did on debut and liked his trials lead into it, I think it's just going to be in front of it and should be good enough to hold on. I'm pretty much in market order, exactly with the market in terms of first, second, and third pick there. So that's the way I've started. Haven't overthought it too much. Now you can have your crack.
Yeah, look, I went for Evaporate as well. I tipped it last start, and I love the way that it circled the field. The pace didn't suit, but it took off early, got to the lead, kept going and chugging along. And I don't see any reason that it probably might try and do something similar here. Jump out, gate 7, sit midfield and pour the pressure on early at the Valley. Got it on top, and I thought it was a nice bet. Hey, stable flying, good jock.
Second is, we stick at the mile for the first 3. The next is a 4-year-old mares and up, benchmark 74. A very even race, I thought. Who have you come up with?
Yeah, I thought it was a really even race as well, and a fairly open one with plenty of chances. I'm leaning towards Way Marie, the top weight. I like the 3 kilo claim here. Last 4 starts, there's been a lot to like about. And it's been winning fairly convincingly. Hasn't had a start on the good, so that'll be a little bit of a different proposition there. Had it on top. Arcana is a horse that I do like and have followed. Last couple of starts was very good, being freshened up, about 50-day freshen up here. It was a little bit fell into the category, like you said, it's drawn the 1 gate, does get back in its races. And I was a little bit concerned as to how and when it would get the run. It may need to hunt up and just get a bit of a split on the turn. So definitely at almost the double figure odds, I'll probably save on it, but Way Marie might just get a bit more luck in running.
I would have easily had Way Marie clearly on top if Mark Zara had stayed on. The jockey change, and maybe I've overplayed it, concerns me a little bit. I was going to make a case for the leader here, the Marg Factor, who has had 2 warm-up runs, is now up to the mile, third up. Has had 2 warm-ups with apprentices on. Now gets Damien Lane in control of the race, and it was $12 when I did the form. I think it's worth an each-way ticket. I think Way Marie tags it, gets a lovely run behind, and with even luck is going to be very hard to beat. I really like Le Mans Australian debut next best. The concern was giving him a start around the Valley early in the day, what that actually meant. But keenest to probably play around the 13 and the 1 predominantly there, both at an each-way price. The third is a mile benchmark 84, and once again, I'm in agreement with the market. I've come up with Aramco on top. Comes off chasing some decent Sydney form. There's a fair bit of that Golden Path form in Sydney and Melbourne this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon. Shin rolls forward, sucks along, I think, behind who pushes forward here? Regal Zeus, maybe Cecino go forward. And if all goes to plan, it runs well enough here at $4. Don't really want to steam to it because I still think it's a little bit, something I don't quite like about the horse, but I think the Sydney form stacks up better. Nails Murphy didn't have the best of luck, is the main danger. Gets almost the same run, tagging those two leaders. I had a feeling Logan Street Lion might be a value play if you're looking for one for your trifectas and co. But what have you made of this?
Yeah, really tricky race here. Any of the top 4 or 5 can win this race here. I'm going for Le Zebra. I'm just hoping that he can get the right run in transit here. Slightly disappointed last start, but I don't think it had all that much luck. The start before where it got the right run and it won by 5 lengths showed that it's got plenty of ability. This might be a little bit better class, but I just thought the race might pan out nicely for that here. Regal Zeus, think it can run well again, very consistent, stuck on well last start, was left to sit and shot for Tressetti, who did get it, dropped on that, couple of kilos on that, and it wasn't able to take up the pace last time. It sort of had to sit behind a little bit of a different speed and sort of take them into the race, and then was just left a sitting shot. Just trying to work out what the speed is here. It looks the speed. Maybe Cecino might go forward. So I'd definitely be saving on Regal Zeus, but the Zebra, I'm just going to hope is a little bit too strong in the end.
Aramco is actually capable of leading this race. I thought Regal Zeus would, but Aramco has led before and may well do from the gate. So that the two other ones you mentioned, I agree with the speed here. The fourth is a 2040 metre benchmark 78, and another race I'm in exact market order. I'm going to just tip Lincoln Rocks Gate 3. Showed it can posse up closer, and I think Zara just gets a job done to turn it on the bobbing finish it had with Lording. Again, I'm in that exact order. The two I'll mention just to throw in at a price. I thought Good Oil was an okay Australian debut at 50s, and Hard Squeeze I can forgive last time out. Stuck wide on the track. Both big prices, more so, as I said, for anyone looking to play trifectas and first fours. Beaver, what have you come up with?
Yeah, I've gone Lincoln Rocks as well. I think can turn the tables here. Stuck on well last start. Again, sat on pace. Again, had to do a fair bit of bullocking work there. I think it runs well again here. Hard fit now. I thought the main danger was Denmark from the Waller stable. Got to watch these horses around third up here, coming from Sydney, Newcastle formed where it got a kill, and comes here now third up and got a good jock on board. I'd be certainly giving that a really good chance at double figure odds.
The fifth is the first of the black type races, the Chataqua Stakes, 1,200 metres. Arkansas Kid was saved from last weekend for this. Is that the way you've gone?
Yeah, I think that's a good pointer. Scratched last week, save for this. I think this should be a race that it's wins drawn to. Doesn't look to be too much dangers here.
I think it pretty much gets exactly the same run it did last time out and probably wins the same way. I thought Desert Lightning's a very interesting horse. I'm not tipping it here, but the fact it's come over to Peter Moody, it has Group 1 wins over Legato and some other top Kiwi horses and has trialled really well. So I'm just interested to see how it kicks off for the spring, where it heads maybe towards one of those Flemington miles in a couple of weeks. But yeah, Arkansas is clearly on top with a watch on the 1. The 6, we've got the 2 3-year-old races up next, the Atlantic Jewel being the first of them, the girls' version. And once again, I've come up with a favourite here. I'm got blue colours on top for a few races for the rest of the day. I thought that was a really good run there, and I think that form around Amina and Manal and Co., which we'll see again later in Sydney as well, stacks up slightly better than this. Can almost lead this race. I'm talking about Silmarillion here, the favourite. Karen's down to ride it, and I think can get the job done from Immortal Star, who had a lovely run last time out and is clearly the main danger. Beaver?
Yeah, interesting race here. Obviously, the favourite's an interesting runner. I thought it was a little bit skinny.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
For a horse that hasn't won a race in 5 starts. that does concern me. And some of those fields, haven't been the hardest of races, although last start was a pretty good run in Group 2 company. But it's got to reproduce that, and that's one concern for me. Taking $2.40 in races of this quality for maidens. I've gone for Sassy Jenny on top, resuming here. First race start was really impressive. Loved the win. That was in open class company at the Valley. All its starts have been at the Valley, led and hung on. So that was a good. And then in a listed race behind Growing Empire, and we know how good Growing Empire is based on its win last week. It was only 2 lengths off that, again, sitting on the pace, and Growing Empire had the sitting shot. So I thought that was good. Resuming here, hopefully fresh enough, can run well. So I've got Sassy Jenny on top. With the Mortar Star and Samarillion, the danger.
Very good. I think it's a very good race, and I think this Darcy MacKenzie, the Colts version, is a very interesting race too. Who do you like here?
Yeah, another interesting race here. Sorry, just flicking over the page. I'm going to stick with the favourite here, Busted and Young's Epimeles.
Mm-hmm.
How do you say this one?
Epimels?
Epimels. Yeah, that's it. Look, 2 from 2 here. Loved the last start win behind beating Narbold. That was a great run at Flemington over the 1400 after a good first start win. Again, fairly convincingly. Freshened for this, gets the 1 gate. Not so much of a concern here because I think it might push forward and get the run here. And it is only a small field, so I think that should be suited here. Thought the price was good and going to be the hardest to beat.
Yeah, only has to tag Red. I think Red Sea crosses it, and it can tag along. And if it gets out and not boxed in by public attention, I think it wins. The only other concern is it being a done deal, whether they are trying to get it out further by the end of this prep. But I think it's on top. I think it's a nice horse, and I'm going to make Angel Capital the danger. Trialled really nicely behind Growing Empire, actually. And we don't know the bottom of public attention just yet. I think they're the 3 key hopes, but I'm with the favourite once more. The 8th is the 1,500 metre So You Think Stakes, $200,000 race here. And I'm going to stick with the blue in Pericles. That was a nice run last time. I think you make the argument it almost should have beat Pinstripe home with even luck. First up, obviously the 2 that beat it home, ran out and ran first and third in the Memsie last week. Blake Shin will have it on pace. I think it tags over with Buffalo River and camps on the back of it and rolls. All things being equal, it should win this if it's as good a horse as I think it is. I think $2.20-ish sounds fair to me. Couldn't come up with any dangers, really. I think I'm just more from a futures point of view interested to see how Immediacy comes back, how Miramasa comes back, and how Independent Road comes back. But I think it's, my best of the day is Pericles Beaver.
Yeah, it looks primed and ready for this, doesn't it? After its first up run. Hasn't won for 12 months to this day, last year, I believe. So that is a little bit of concern, but I think it's been in far better company than some of these that it's facing here. Freshened up here for a second run. It'll be fitter after the first up run behind Gentleman Roy, less than a length. That was a nice first up effort, no doubt about it. I've got it on top as well. I just couldn't find anything in the class to beat it.
Beautiful. The 9th is the feature, 1,000 metre Group 1 weight for age sprint. And both these sprint races, this one and the Concord, are crackers. And except for I Wish I Win, they've all got Everest spots to play for here, which makes it even more interesting. Who have you found, though?
Bloody tough race, eh?
Because I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sticking with Mornington Glory.
Okay.
I just thought $11. It's flying at the moment. Win last start was only a narrow win, but geez, it had to do some work and come around them on a track that probably wasn't suited. I just loved the win. This is a real test against this type of quality, but got the inside draw. Kim Pozziart flies at Meaning Valley and going well. and it's got the fitness edge on some of those. I thought at double figure odds it's worth a play because I couldn't really separate the other three.
Well,
That was the challenge, and I just thought it can do a number of things. It can go forward, Mornington Glory. It can sit back. So I thought I'd just play that. I wish I win. Obviously, I'm not the 1,000 meters. Maybe a slight query at Moonee Valley. I thought it was just hard to warm to it. It might prove me wrong and just blow them away and just
it
be
was
too
the one
good.
horse I had no interest in.
Yeah, that's what I was a little bit the same.
With, as I said, a grand final already booked in, and it's not it's closer to a 1,400 metre horse than a 1,000 metre horse.
And then you come for someone like Lady of Camelot. It's got the 50, so that's a tick. But Golden Slipper winner, that's a tick. But sometimes coming back from Golden Slippers can be a little bit of a letdown. We've seen it plenty of times before. That's all they do in the 2-year-olds, and they don't come back as 3-year-olds. And this is an interesting start for that. But time will tell against the older horses here with some form on the board. So I've gone Mornington Glory to beat Estrella.
Speaking of which, I got Stormboy wrong. That was a great comeback last week. That was a real good comeback. So there is one that came out of the slipper. But what I'm doing here is a good question. You know, the only bet I sort of am tempted to have is Hayasugi. I think the trials have been fantastic, and it's $15, no weight on its back. If we are swooping, it can be one of the best swoopers. Did trial fantastically, but that being said, I thought everyone here trialled really well. Watch and learn race more than else. Just as a result, I'll take a big price Hayasugi, maybe even a big price Chain of Lightning. But what a race. Looking forward to learning out of it. Estrella could be a star later. Camelot could be a star, but as you said, have to come back from a proper slipper campaign. We'll wrap up with a very good 1,200 metre benchmark, 84 here. And he was one I was happy to take on the favourite from Gate 1, who may all be the best horse. But I think Piastri is absolutely flying and just draws perfectly. Gate 6, Mickey D. And I don't see how it's not in the finish. Form out of its race in Sydney stacked up. The form out of its race, its wins prior stacked up. It is on top. And who have I gone with as the danger? Miss Aria, our girl who resumes off the winter in Brisbane. Might want 1,400 metres, but I think can sprint well fresh here. I will put Superazzi and Beast Mode into a quaddie at price. I think they're both worth thought. Superazzi's return was very good, actually. That all being said, what have you made of it?
It's almost going to say the same thing.
Wow.
It's like you read my notes. I'm going for Piastri as well, flying at the moment, and everything sets up well here. Thought the price was pretty decent and looks fairly bomb-proof for a race like this. It'll be in the finish. We'll finish in the top 3. I had Miss Surrey as the main danger as well. It's got a powerful finish. Again, maybe looking, might be tested at the Moonee Valley Straight, but if they're taking off early, it might get the track into the race behind Piastri, and who knows in the last 100.
Awesome. Do you want to give us your quaddie for Moir Stakes Day?
Oh, yeah, if I do. Here we go. I'm going in the first leg, race 7, number 2, Epimelias, number 3, Public Attention, number 8, Stolly Bolly. In the second leg, race 8, I'm going 2, Pericles, number 4, Munamek, and number 1, Attrition. In the third leg, race 9, I'm going to go number 2, Mornington Glory, number 6, Estrella, number 1, I Wish I Win, and I'll go number 9, Hayasugi as well. I'm going to leave the favourite out just to make sure we get some value.
Okay.
If we win. And in the last, I'm going number 10, Piastri, number 8, Miss Aria, number 3, Beast Mode, number 1, Superazzi, and number 13, Along the River.
I like it. Good stuff. Your best and value?
My best is, I'm going to go race 5, number 3, Arkansas Kid. And my value is going to come up in race 9, number 2, Mornington Glory.
I'm going to go with Pericles as my best. Race 8, number 2, Value, we'll say Hayasugi, race 9, number 9 in the sprint. I think the Marg factor gives you a lovely sight. Race 2, number 13 as well at a decent price. As we head to Randwick for a cracking card, warm day in Sydney again. We'll just see how firm this track plays with the rail 6, but should make for some nice clean ground. And if not, one off isn't the place to be and it plays fair, this is a great day's racing. A little bit, again, for what's down the road more than anything I want to steam into. But we'll kick off with the 1400-metre midway benchmark 72. And I'll open the batting here again. I think this favourite might almost be a morally extreme cat. Ducked back to the inside in the lead-up and probably should have finished closer to Gold Pattern, who won again on Wednesday. I think forecasters come out and run well from that race. You're getting running line J-Mac starting today against a bunch of horses coming from Wyong and Hawkesbury form. I think it looks really good to me. And to the point where I actually made the danger, the maiden down the bottom there, Powers of Opal, I think claiming under the minimum, gets a decent enough track into the race and might run well. But struggle to find too many dangers for this favourite, Beaver.
Oh, similar to you, shit race. The Extreme Cat's the only one with any form, really, to be honest. And if it handles the gate 13 okay, and it will get back and run on, but it's got the right combination. And I had the same danger, Powers of Opal. I thought it could run well with lightweight.
Awesome. The only other horse I'd even entertain is the one that's currently map leader's back, Cheerful Legend, but just doesn't seem to want to go at Randwick. So I think that's about the race all covered. The second is a very interesting 1100-metre benchmark 78. I thought this would be easy, and the more I got into it, the more confused I got. But did you find anything you want to back? There's been money for this favourite, just looking at this.
Yeah, and I'm sticking with it. Lot to like about its last 3 or 4 starts. Fourth at a scone listed behind Commemorative, only 3 lengths behind it, when well in the market back in May. I think that's a good line for this. We know that Commemorative's a good horse, and then prior to that was killing him in country races, but it's burst onto the scene, freshened up for this. I think it can run well. Spring Lee is a horse I've had an opinion of, but just the last 2 starts this.
You can get rid of that opinion.
Yeah, I just can't until it shows me more. So I think it's probably a little bit short, and I just thought Lost again was hopefully a bit of second up syndrome there and might improve. But so I've gone Martini Mumma. I think it's clear on top with Lost maybe the main danger.
I'm going to have something on Confess Our Dreams. I loved the trials. I loved its win first up in last time out. Tim Clark's going to lead on it. $6, I think, looks reasonable enough. And I'll put it on top from Lost, who pulled up, I think, lame as well. Completely over-raced, carried on like a pork chop. They've put Nash straight on top to give it a nice kick in the guts and remind it to do its job. If it does, it will be in the finish again. Scared of this favourite. I just didn't quite know how to make up, add it up when it comes off highway form, essentially, I thought. So, as you say, that commemorative race wasn't too bad, but it feels short to me. I could give multiple looks to Cavella and Ponte the outsider, but ultimately we'll go 6 from 1. The third is the highway. Standard 1200-metre race here. And I was on Atmospheric Rocket a price last time out. This looks harder. I ended up just settling in pretty much market. I thought Atmospheric Rocket was a good resumption. It can improve off that. Now at 420, probably fair enough. I think Field of Myrtle, who I was on at a big price at Doomben, unfortunately, last time out, runs well. I think Caribbean King runs well, and I think Listomania runs well. So I was in market order. Didn't have a lot to add. I don't know if I'll even bet, to be honest. Did you have any better clarity?
Yeah, I'll bet the same as you. I probably won't bet here. If forced to have a pick, I'd kind of go Melody again. Both runs in this prep have been good, showing improvements. Ran on strongly last start to be third behind a World Alliance, which is a good horse. Drawn wide, which doesn't help, but I think it can be in the finish in this type of field. And I had Field of Myrtle as the main danger.
I absolutely agree with Melody again, except my notes for it were Christian Reith can get in the bin, and I left it at that.
Very cool.
So the fourth is the listed City Cup. And as you said, some of these races are pretty disappointing. I've got to say this is one of them. This is an average black type race here, but who's going to win it?
I've gone for the favourite Strathclyde here. That was a good win last start. Just tracked into them. They put money on it. Got the right run. Tracked in. It was too good for them last time on the limit here. 53 kilos. I think it's the one up and going, and therefore I tend to like to stick with those at this time.
Not much to add. I agree. Loses Nash, but drops 7 kilos, so it's probably about an equivalent exchange there to get J Ford. If it runs like it did last time out, it'll win. I was scared of the J Mac horse, but probably I'm starting to think I might be just jumping at shadows there. So it was the only one I'd even entertain as a danger, if there's any. So very hard to beat Strathclyde. The fifth is a mile benchmark 94, a horrid race. The only horse I was interested, or a couple of horses I was
Horrid
interested
race.
is, well, actually, I was thinking about this morning. I actually sort of came around and decided Juniper might be the only miler in the race. And I've no interest in backing it, but maybe that's the answer. I've got Roma Avenue on top. I think it leads. If it leads, it's probably the right place to be, and lots of these won't run past it. Zarak comes back from a life of Group 1 races, albeit running last in most of them, but this is a much easier contest and dry track suits. I could entertain back. Almania is the only other horse I could back. If I'm going to have a bet in this race, it'd probably be Roma Avenue and possibly at the price Almania. But Chris Lees is generally one not so much to have these stays first up, but did trial really well. Don't know what I've really said there, apart from I don't like the race. Beaver?
Don't like the race either. Don't know really what to do. Zarak 65 kilos, Jesus Christ, but it does have a 3 kilo claim. I've gone for Major Beal.
Okay.
Just gone for the Waterhouse bot combination. Raced in some of the sort of the cup quality races last time in work, didn't quite stack up. It comes back here. Maybe they're expecting it to show more of this preparation and follow the same kind of country type cup, Pakenham Cup type scenarios into the spring. That's why I've got it on top. But yeah, probably won't be putting any money into this affair.
The 6 is the Group 2 Darley Furious Stakes for 3-odd fillies. Very good race and a rematch of the two that clashed last time out. You were keen on Amina then. Nothing's really changed here, I thought.
Nothing's really changed here for me either. It's J-Mac on board, Friedman, combinations flying. I think the race probably sets up fairly similar. The 550 to 250, the price, it beat it last start and the price gaps widened.
Yeah.
They actually haven't come closer together, and I thought it won fair and square, Amina.
There's a 2 kilo swing, but it gave Manal a start, and I thought beat it convincingly.
Yeah, and beat it and was going better on the line.
As was Zaytung, I would suggest.
Yeah, so, I mean, both you would expect to have improved since that run. Who's improved more? I wouldn't rule Manal out. I mean, it's an obvious, got plenty of potential, but I'm going to stick with Amina at the 550, and Manal is the main danger.
I've gone the same. I thought Lazura was a horse of interest here. Has been kept out wide. I think it was sent to Scone for a black type race, but trials are really good. And it's the only Waller runner, which sort of caught my eye a little bit, whatever that means. But Amina is on top, and for all the reasons we've said, I think it can get the job done again. And you've got James McDonald, just in case you're worried about the jockey. The quaddie starts with the other group race of, other group sprint of the day, an Everest lead up here, with lots of Everest spots to play for. This is a cracker, the Concord. 1,000 metres, Beaver, have at it.
Is a cracker. I love the race. Going to be interesting to follow and what comes out of it. I'm going Bella Nipotina.
Yep.
I think it can run well fresh over the 1,000 metres, gate 1. Hopefully it can get the right run in transit here. And hopefully the heads can open when it's ready to let down. Really freshened up here. I think it can run well. Got to see Giga kick and come back and given some of the issues it's had. But I got Bella Nipotina on top, main danger Af Cabin. I think it's ready to run well after being gelded. And looks to have come back in fine order given the 2 trials. They've been quite impressive. So $6, good price. I'll be back in Bellinipatina Patina and Half Cabin when I have a bet.
I'm flipping them, but I've gone the same two. Half Cabin, gelded, beautiful trials. Should have beaten Passive Aggressive first up over 1,000 last prep. Didn't have a lot of luck after that, but this is its go. I think dry track on paper it doesn't look great, but didn't have a lot of luck in some of those races. I just think different horse this time in. I'm going to bank on that a little bit. Bella Nipotina, you know, will be in the finish because she's never not. Just super honest. Gate 1, hopefully is okay, but will be the main danger. As you say, want to see Gigi come back first after a year off. And I'm really annoyed Moravi is here because I think it would have won a few other races, just not this one. The 8th is the Chelmsford, a mile Group 2, where I'm going blue again here. I think Zardozi is possibly a moral. J-Mac jumps on, and it's taking on a field of horses that, dare I say, a few want jumps in front of by now. So, these are average horses resuming, or worn-out horses resuming. If Zardozi, and we saw it springboard last time in as well, second up, all goes to plan, it'll brain knees. The only horses I'd even mention away from it. Again, Adelaide River's now first up, second prep in Oz, having been up to Queensland. Trials were okay. And Nonconformist is over the odds because it's an actual mile-type horse that can run well here, but pretty average affair, Beaver.
Yeah, pretty average affair, except for the favourite, Zardozi. Clear on top for me as well. I think it will improve off its first up run. Right combination here. Couple of lengths off in a pretty good race. First up, there's not a lot in this, not a lot of depth to this race. Yeah, clear on top for me, and probably my best of the day, to be honest.
The other Group 2 is the 1,400 metre tramway. Amelia's Jewel resumes in Sydney for the new stable. What are you doing with her?
Yeah, I'm putting her on top. Like it's got the new stable and flies first up. 5 first up efforts, 4 wins and a placing. Outstanding horse, outstanding prospect, now in the top stable or one of the top stables. Gate 8's fine. Probably meets a... This is Group 2, but some of these, I'm not sure, are Group 2 horses. When your second favourites, horses like Freedom Rally coming from Queensland and has only been a Group 3 place getter in Queensland. Did run only less than 3 lengths behind. I wish I win up there. So that's good form, but have to show something in this type of quality in Sydney or Melbourne before I fall into it. So Amelia's Jewel on topic here as well, and probably another good bet for the day.
If it doesn't win this, I don't know what it wins. As you covered off, it's fresh. I think it'll be wound up for the new stable. I think there's a point to prove. It was kept at the sprint trips last time out. I like it resuming at 1,400 metres, and it's going to be giving, I think, the only other chances at all, they're going to have to give it a start. I don't think they can and win. So it's on top. I'll throw Arctic Glamour and Democracy Manifest into a quaddie, potentially. If it doesn't win this, it'll be off to the year-long breeding barn in the next few weeks, I'd suggest. And let's wrap up with a race 10, which is a very good 1,200 metre benchmark 78, where I'm going to have a spec on, I'm just checking scratchings here, on Althoff. I thought trials were really good. It's double figures. I liked some of what it did before it went to Queensland last time out. It's had the spell in Queensland. It's $14, gate 3, off some nice trials, as I said. Happy to find out. Dangers World Alliance going really well. And I thought Flying Destiny, a big price, is the leader in the last, and it is coming off Canterbury wins, but I think can still run well enough. I wouldn't talk anyone out of anything in this race. It's a very interesting race to finish today. Who do you like?
I was just saying I wouldn't talk anyone out of anything in this race either. There's a large number of chances here, and you could have 5 picks and still miss. I'm going for the blue colours, Hanau. I think it can run really well, like the draw. I think it's working up to a win. Finished off quite nicely last start at Warwick Farm. I think it can run well after some good Melbourne form. So I've got it on top. Thought Thunder Lips could run well.
Yep.
Liked its first up. and I think it'll improve from that. Was behind Piastri, who we've said will run well down in Melbourne, and I'll be certainly cautious with Congregation resuming here. Has running good quality fields as well, so I'll be keen to see how it resumes. So those were sort of the three I went there, which you'll probably get largely double figures about all of them.
Beautiful. The quaddie for Tramway Stakes Day, first leg, race 7, 1 Giga Kick, 3 Aft Cabin, 4 Bella Nipotina, 5 Remark, 9 Red Card. I'll throw Moravi into mine because I'm sick, but yeah, you don't have to. Race, the second leg is 3 Nonconformist, 4 Adelaide Wheeler, 10 Zardozi. Then we'll go 2 My Oberon, did try well actually. 3 Democracy Manifest, 8 Amelia's Jewel. And we'll come home with 3 Flying Destiny, 8 Thunderlips, 9 World Alliance, 12 Iron Man, 13 Well Time, 14 Althoff, 16 Crafty Eagle, and 19 Hanau. I think it was about $100 for about a quarter there, 20-ish%, 25% or so. Off the top of my head, my best is going to be the blue colours, race 8, number 10, Zardozi. My value in the last, Althoff, race 10, number 14. In a tricky day to find much odds I wanted to back. What about yourself?
I'm sticking with the blue colours as my best and value. Race 8, number 10, Zardozi as my best. And the value, race 10, number 19, Hanau.
Fantastic. What's happening at Doomben? I see the Barty Party's back up there.
The Barty Party is back up, right? Interesting fields up there. My tips are race 2, number 8, Dirt Cheap. I think it can run well. Race 3, number 2, Hell of a Barty. We'll stick with it just because you've mentioned it and you love it. Race 7, number 1, Mashani Lily, resuming there. I think it can run really, really well. And I think in the last, the Waller trained number 13, race 9, Tannenberg. I think we can get a bit of money out of Doomben tomorrow.
I like that card. I was spewing I missed Odinson last week. I think I was tipping it to win all the 3-year-olds, and I flicked on the radio, and there it was winning in Doomben at a price. But anyway, by $4. Morpheville, race 7, number 2, He's Beset will win. Race 3, number 1, Flame and Romans. If it's ever going to win another race, it will be tomorrow. And that's it. Who's going to win the Spoon Bowl?
Who's going to win what?
The Spoon Bowl. Tigers and Para tonight.
Oh, the Spoon Bowl. Who cares? I think Para will probably knock them off, mate.
Yeah,
can't get excited about Tigers, unfortunately.
Got to live for something, Beaver. Anyway.
Yeah, it ain't footy, mate, when you're wearing that jersey.
It's not, but I'm going to...
Good luck anyway, mate.
Thanks, appreciate it. Good luck tomorrow. I might see you for a beer. I'll let you know.
Yes,
if you're
do
about.
that.
Take it easy, punters. See you guys, and we'll talk very soon.